I just want to start out beating Max Holloway. When we spoke before, that's exactly how you thought you'd beat him. You just thought you'd beat too much. Your game plan would be way too smart for him. Like, did that fight go about as perfect as you thought it would have?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Well, you could say 5 rounds of it. To go out there and obviously shut Max down. Max wasn't able to throw what he usually throws. Every time he did, I was either out of there, or maybe he would touch me, or he would run into big shots, or I'd shut him before he even started going. Just things like that. So it was, it went well. Obviously we still had other things we could have done, but we didn't need to. So it just shows you how deep we go with options. So even on the feet. So a lot of people like we had options on the feet. One thing won't work, we go to this, we go to that, and then that's all I needed to do. I didn't need to go any further than that. He done exactly what we expected to do on the feet. And, again, if we're still having trouble, because, Max is obviously a great champion, then we could have, maybe incorporated wrestling and stuff like that. A lot of people are going to say that I tried to take him down, but, obviously if the shot was there and I was really deep where I wanted to be, I would have pursued it, but I wasn't, and we're winning, so I didn't care. I wasn't going to waste energy on that for no reason. So that's the thing. So I'm a very well-rounded fighter, so if I had to take it to the ground and I had to bully my opponent down, I could have done that, but I didn't need to, so, went well.
You obviously attacked his legs with a lot of leg kicks. Was that part of the game plan so he couldn't be switching stances? Because I think that's when Max is the best, when he can switch stances from southpaw to orthodox all the time.
Yeah, well, the leg kicks were a big part of the plan. Like, obviously, it probably goes a little bit deeper than him just wanting to switch and use his switch. Like, we probably go a little bit deeper than that, but that's all a part of how effective the kicks were going to be. Obviously, it's going to make a lot of things hard for him to do. So again, I can't go too deep. You never know if that rematch comes, but he's a smart man. He probably knows what we're doing in there anyway. But again, we're just shutting him down. He wants to get his rhythm. We just didn't let him get his rhythm, and that was it.
After the fight, you actually saw Max raise his hand, and then on the UFC, the Thrill and the Agony, he was shouting and still his corner thought he won the fight. Like, how confident were you that you won that fight?
Yeah, again, you never know with the judges, but I mean, my corner were pretty clear, you know what I mean? Again, while you're in there, you're never too sure. Again, I think I'm winning, but I don't know, so I'm going to ask my corner, and they're telling me round by round, yep, it's going good, it's going good. Maybe there was a couple of rounds, it's we're not sure, obviously you're fighting the champion, you got to take them rounds and that, but, so, they're just telling me, they're going, you're doing good, and then even after the fight, they're like, they told me that I won, and I know that for them to say that I won. So even with the Aldo fight, they're going to be, they're realists. They're like, oh yeah, we think you won, but we're not sure. Even though it was pretty clear that I won. But with this one, they were pretty clear, so I knew, yeah, we've done this. And then I'm surprised how, after I watched back the tape, I was surprised that they did have their hands up. But maybe Max felt different in there. But I mean, his corner, I'm surprised his corner were telling him that he was winning after watching it. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, again, you never know. It's always different in there. Again, you're always going to have that biased opinion. I think they're just seeing all his punches being effective. But again, once I watched the tape, I was pretty certain. I couldn't even give him a round, to be honest. And I'm not usually that biased for myself. I was literally trying to watch it and see there was definitely grounds a lot closer than the others, but I still struggling to give him a round.
Yeah, I had a 4-1, and I thought if it was 5-0 you, I would have no problem with that. I thought it was 5-0 or 4-1 were the only scorecards you could have done. But
exactly right.
Your teammate Kai Kara France, he lost earlier in the night. Was that hard to kind of see that, and have to start warming up, prepare for your own fight?
No, I wouldn't say. Obviously, it's hard. You don't want to see your teammates lose and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not going to let any of these things get to me. I've got a job to do, and yeah, I'm fine. That's one good thing about me, man. No matter what sort of happens, I can always play what's in front of me. You know what I mean? As soon as my coach puts my coaches put my gloves on and start hitting pads, I'm going to focus 100% on that. I've got a job to do now. The rest sort of, I've got that tunnel vision, tunnel focus. and that's it. So it's just obviously it sucked to watch Kai lose, but at the same time, it was never going to affect my performance.
I brought it up to you before the fight that now that it's actually happened, you and McGregor are the only people to beat Holloway, Aldo, and Mendez. Like, obviously, you just beat back-to-back fights, kind of the two greatest featherweights of all time. It was either Aldo or Holloway. Like, where do you think that puts you in that conversation now?
Yeah, like it's I'm not going to sit there and say I'm the greatest of all time, but I mean, it does make you jump the queue a little bit. You know what I mean? So obviously, I am up there. You give me a few fights of top contenders. You know what I mean? Then obviously the discussions are definitely earned that. So again, not many people could say they've taken out the guys that are taken out, especially in the last 12, 13 months. So it's big, but at the same time, right now I'm going to defend this belt, take out a few people, and then I'll just let people say it how it is. Then they're going to just start throwing it out. I'm going to be, oh yeah, cool, good on you. All right, who's next?
Your first title defense. That's been a lot of questions about that. They don't know who it's going to be. Like, you obviously have the Holloway rematch. Like, Zabits look good, Zombies look good. Like, who do you think is going to be that guy you have to defend your belt against?
Mate, there's a video that just got put out. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's me talking about this. Again, Max. I don't even know if Max wants a rematch to be. Like, I don't even know. He hasn't even been talking about it. He wasn't clear straight after the fight that's what he wanted. You know what I mean? Does he want to fight in lightweight a little bit and just see what happens? I don't know. But I mean, and then you look at the fight and you be like, all right, you probably won every single round. Like, does he deserve that rematch straight away? Like, obviously he was a great champion. But I mean, I won pretty clearly. So sometimes you're just like, I don't know if you deserve that rematch. But anyway, again, you have to leave that to the UFC, I guess. But we just don't know. And then you got Zombie, as you said, Zombie on a 2-fight win streak. I wouldn't say he's a clear number one contender. No, like nowhere near. You got Zabit. He's taken out. He's on a decent fight streak, but he hasn't took anyone. Any of the real top contenders. Then you got Brian Ortega, who is a top contender, but his last loss and he hasn't fought for so long. There's no one that's real clear on the number one contender. So, but one thing that my message to everyone is, like, I'm sitting here with a broken hand. I'm on the sideline, so I won't be able to fight till mid-year. Plus we don't know. So there's time to go and take that number one contender spot. What are you waiting for? Don't sit there and hope you get it. Go and take it. Go out there. If Zombie and Zabita are arguing who's going to be next, go fight each other. Be the number one contender. Or if Brian Ortega, same thing. If you don't want these other guys taking your number one contender spot, take him out. You know what I mean? Like, I just believe that's how I done it. You know what I mean? I was fighting Brazil. I was fighting in Brazil against Aldo. Because I wanted that number one contender spot. I went to Canada. After my injury, that from the fight, I had like that infection. I didn't have the best camp going into that, but again, I didn't want no one else to take that opportunity away from me. I went there on a 37-hour trip. Felt like shit. You know what I mean? Like, the weight cut was terrible, but I'm not going to let anyone take that opportunity away from me. I want to make sure I'm going to cement myself as number one contender, and that's what I've done my whole way through. Even early days, I was going to shoot for these ranks, fight who I had to fight to get myself to that number one spot. I earned it. It wasn't given to me. Now these guys can go and do the same. Go take it. You're one fight away from being a title, to be a clear number one. If you believe in yourself, go take out whoever else is in question. Take that spot, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, because you have, like, Ortega he pulled out because I think it was tore his ACL or partially tore it. He's out for a bit. But then you have 4 guys. Like, you have Holloway, Zabit, Zombie, Yair. UFC should make 2 fights, pair one of them, like, pair those 4 guys, however the UFC wants to do it. Whoever has the best performance, you're the number one contender. Like, I agree with you, like, 100%. Like, Zabit and Zombie keep on arguing, like, you see on social media, like, oh, I deserve the shot. But Zabit hasn't fought 5 rounds, and he hasn't fought anyone in the top 5. Zombie's coming up, like, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. Before that, he got knocked out to Yair. So, like, they all need to go get a win.
Exactly right. There's no clear, all these people are waiting for opportunity. Like, again, look where you're ranked. You know what I mean? If you get that opportunity, if you remember me, my post-fight interview, I'm saying it was earned, not given. You know what I mean? I went and earned my title shot in that belt. It was earned, not given to me. Yeah, so I put myself in a position where no one else can take it from me. It's like, oh, we have to give him that title fight, even if they didn't want it. There was no option but to give me that title fight. These guys, if they get the shot, it's pretty much given to them. They're ranked number 4 or 5, 5 and stuff like that. If they get that opportunity, oh, good on them. But I mean, I don't believe they earned it. And I just think, you know what I mean? And there's a good chance they might not get it because they haven't earned it yet. So don't wait around and then whinge about it if you don't get it. You can go and take it now and then you got nothing to whinge about because you went and took you made the most of that opportunity. You went and took that fucking number 1 spot, just like I did.
You obviously have the broken ankle. You obviously can't train as much as you obviously would like to, but when is the ideal time frame? Like, are we looking at sometime this summer, like June, July?
You know, that's I think that's realistic. I think that's realistic. Again, like, because I found out I've got the broken hand, but I won't be punching with this for a while. So obviously there's things I can still do, and I ain't the type of person that's just going to sit down and do nothing. So I'm going to do stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to quickly run into a title fight. And I've got a month till I can fight. I can use my right hand now. You know, obviously you're going to have to build a lot of rehab and do things properly. You know what I mean? So realistically, I think that is a realistic time. I think June, July. You know, we found out that I've got like some tendon damage on my thumb as well. So we didn't know that originally, but yeah, it's pretty loose there. So they end up finding out there's I don't know where I could tell you explain it, but on my thumb, like, you know, my thumb goes side to side very easily. So we don't know if it's an old injury. We don't know if it happened in the fight. So now, obviously, I'm going to have to wear this damn thing for a little bit longer just to hopefully for it to sort of attach, because I can't do an MRI yet because of the screws in my thumb and the bone hasn't healed properly. So they've got to wait maybe another week or something. I'll get MRI and we'll see what's happening with that tendon. If that tendon was, you know, like if from the fight a clean snap or something like that, then maybe we've got to get surgery and reattach that. I don't know. But if it's an old injury, you know, I guess I fought with it last time and it was all right, so I may as well just not worry about it.
Where's the ideal first title defense in Australia or New Zealand? Because I think having Israel headline it, you and Co-Main both putting your belts, I think that would be the biggest like event in the Oceanic regions, like history.
Oh, 100%. That'd be huge. That'd be absolutely huge. But yeah, I don't know. Has he been booked yet?
No, there's talk of him and Romero in March, but nothing's been booked.
No, okay, yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, that's the thing. So we don't know. So, but I mean, I don't know if that's. Hopefully, that'd be unreal. You know, how good would that be? Two belts from this side of the region fighting in this side of the region. You know, I mean, that'd be insane. Obviously, never done before, and you know, might not happen again. Like, actually, it will happen again. We got some good fighters over here. A lot of talent coming through. You probably will see something like this again. So you know, you never know. But I mean, that'd be unreal.
Your gym, City, I know you spend a part of your camp in City Kickbox. I think that's one of the best gyms. Eugene Behrmans, he's one of the best coaches. Like, how much has that gym worked with like Brad Riddell as your starting coach, and just being a part of having Eugene as your coach and being part of that gym? Like, how much has that helped your game grow and be that much better?
Well, it has helped a lot. So Brad Riddell is actually from City Kickboxing Gym. So that's So Brad, when I was with him, like Brad come and like my head coach is Joe Lopez, so I've done all my my whole UFC or whole MMA career with Joe. So he's been my head coach from day one. But obviously I've trained here and there as well, like Tiger Muay Thai, I've done a bit there, and that's where I met Brad Riddell. But he's always been at City Kickboxing, so when I go there and do train and do a bit of my camp in City Kickboxing, there's a lot of time, Brad Riddell will hold the pads and stuff like that. Eugene Behrman and, obviously my coach Joe Lopez and Brad Riddell will all work on a sort of a game plan and, all work with that together. But just being over there, you know what I mean, the atmosphere, the team feel and all that sort of stuff, it's next level. It really is. If you watch one of my videos that I put up not long ago, was our last workout of the year. And, it's like hard. It's like one of the hardest workouts we ever do. And because it was a 5-rounder fight, that's how long it goes for. Usually we only do 3-rounders. But if it's a title fight, you've got to do 5. And And I mean, it's tough. Like, it doesn't get any harder than that. And it's actually a cool little video, but you could just hear the atmosphere, like the way everyone's going, absolutely going nuts. And that was my last session going into fight week, you know what I mean? So there was no better way to get me motivated to go and get the job done after that. So this is a type of vibes and feels you get over there. It's unreal. It's a great place to be. And, you know, obviously they're a great gym, great coaches, and that's why me and Joe love doing bits of our camps there.
All right, well, Alex, that's like Avi. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
No worries at all.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thanks, Tim. See ya.
Bye.